Hi guys, this is Taylor and I'm here today with my October wrap-up. This was a little bit of a chaotic month. I did some traveling, I'm still trying to juggle school and work, so this is gonna be a fun one because I only really got through 2 things this month and I didn't really like either of them, so let's get started. Not the first thing that I finished this month, but the primary thing that I read in the month of October was Killing Commendatore by Haruki Murakami. This is the newest Murakami. It came out this month in English. I read it. I have some thoughts about it. I tried to go into this as blindly as possible, but nonetheless I had heard almost unanimously bad things about it just through the grapevine, so of course that was disappointing for me to hear. As a huge Murakami fan, I feel like he's probably the author that is most strongly associated with my channel and with my tastes at this point, but unfortunately I have to agree with the consensus and say that yeah, this is pretty bad. Our main character is a guy in his mid-30s who is recently separated from his wife. He is a portrait artist and he takes this opportunity to kind of rediscover himself through his art. He has a friend from art school whose father was a very famous artist, and the secluded cabin where he did most of his work becomes the new studio for our main character. So everything that I just described I enjoyed. I liked the setting, I liked the content that was focused on art and some musings on portraiture. That I genuinely enjoyed. The problem for me was basically everything else. I would have to say that my primary problem here was the inclusion of some subject matter that made me question his intentions and whether the inclusion of that subject matter served a purpose beyond perversion, honestly. An astonishing portion of this 700-page book is devoted to a 13-year-old girl's breasts. And I can't see a reason for that. I cannot find a reason for that. That's just one example too. And obviously Murakami is an author who does not shy away from taboo subjects or sexuality, but I feel like lines were crossed in this book. I had other problems with this book too. I feel like the female characters were exceptionally poorly written, even by his standards. The pacing was all over the place. The most exciting and stimulating part of this novel for me took place about a third of the way in. It's like the tension, like the good literary tension, is in the weirdest spots, and overall, as a 700-page book that I devoted the better part of a month to, it just was not a remotely satisfying read. I gave this 2 stars. It had some nice moments, but they were just not worth it when it comes down to it. I would not recommend this unless you are a Murakami completionist like me, and even then, maybe proceed with caution. I was disappointed with this, obviously, but then again, I wasn't banking really hard on this just based on his more recent efforts, but it was a weird experience for me to dislike a Murakami so much, for sure. So the only other book I read this month, and the one that I probably liked a little bit more, it's kind of hilarious to say, was Someday by David Levithan. I'm not going to talk about this at length because A, it's the 3rd book in a series, and B, I honestly barely remember it after Killing Commendatore. This is the 3rd and I believe final book in a YA series that started with Every Day. I picked this up almost exclusively because I felt like the author totally painted himself into a corner at the end of the 2nd book, and I was interested to see how he could possibly get himself out of it. And I guess he did sort of write himself out of it, but I didn't find it particularly satisfying. It's hard to articulate why I didn't really enjoy this beyond the fact that it just had too many YA tropes for me, but at the same time the YA qualities of the series are probably what makes it so readable and generally entertaining. Basically, I wasn't mad at the end of this series, but it wasn't the ultra memorable entry that I was kind of hoping for or that I feel like it could have been. I'm pretty sure I gave this 3 stars. I honestly barely remember after this month. So that was my October. All of it. Let me know if your October went better than mine. I'm assuming it probably did. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!